Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today I do have cinnamon in my coffee, and I did work out the negotiation with my wife about $10 XRP. For those of you that didn't hear me say it yesterday, one of the things that I hate worse than anything in this life is having to unload the dishwasher. And my wife got mad at me the other day because I had not unloaded the dishwasher, and so I started negotiations, and now I have negotiated, and I'm making this announcement today. At $10 XRP, I will never have to unload the dishwasher again. She has agreed to it in front of witnesses, and so now you know. $5 XRP, these are things added to my exit strategy. $5 XRP, I'm getting my kids a weenie dog, and we're going to name it Ripple. $10 XRP, I don't ever have to unload the dishwasher again, and that's a big deal. Now, who's going to unload the dishwasher? It sounds to me like I'm going to be spending money for someone else to unload the dishwasher, but I'm going to try to lean towards getting my 13-year-old to have to do it. That's what I had to do as a kid. Okay, first I got this from Sergeant Obi-Wan, crypto listing and delisting announcements, week 26. And he said he remembered me talking about this last year. Someone needs to start a graveyard page for digital assets. And I'm going to remind you of what he's talking about here. And this is an article. I'll show you the article that he's referencing here. Crypto listing and delisting. And you're going to start to see more of this kind of thing. They're showing like digital asset exchanges, crypto exchanges that have listed things, and then others that have delisted things. One of the trends you're going to see is there's going to be a lot of them that are conflicted on the privacy coins. And you're going to see a lot of them that are delisting privacy coins because they're feeling pressure from some of the governments. But the bigger picture is this. And this is the thing that one of the things that you need to know to put it in their proper context. One of the things you hear in the media today, especially from the anti-crypto people, oh, there's over 2,000 digital currencies, you know, to kind of delegitimize the whole thing. I've heard this a lot. Well, I'm here to tell you, I don't care what the boom is. I don't care if it's the crypto boom or the .com bubble or the real estate bubble before the financial crisis. In all of these run-ups, in all markets that are new, you're going to have a lot of innovation and a lot of different people make a go at it. You're going to see a lot of companies pop up, and in this case, you're going to see a lot of digital assets pop up. The great percentage of them are going to be garbage. That's how things work. You're going to have a lot of garbage, and then shaken out of all of that is going to be the real deal companies and real deal digital assets. And there's no doubt in my mind that Ripple is one of those companies and XRP is one of those digital assets. Now, there will be many, many failures. And Sergeant Obi-Wan is right. Someone needs to create a website around this. You will make a mint because it's already been done. And I want to go ahead and give you a disclaimer. I'm about to show you the F word. I have to in order to show you what happened in the .com bubble. During the .com bubble, there was a website that popped up. It was effedcompany.com, but it was the whole word spelled out. This guy, his name was Philip J., and he went by Pud Kaplan. He started this website, and all it was, he would post, it was almost like a message board, and he would post the .com companies that were failing, and he would get tips from people that were working in the company and this type of thing. And I think that you have to be careful with this type of thing because I think some of these companies eventually sued him. So you would have to consult an attorney to do something like this and to decide how to approach it so that you weren't doing anything that was illegal or whatever. But this guy did really well. So probably what you would have to do is only put out public information is what I would guess, but I don't know. You'll have to talk to your attorney about that. And it doesn't have to have an ugly name, but there are going to be a lot of digital assets that are going to die. And this is a real opportunity, someone to create some kind of digital asset dead pool or something like that. I can promise you I would frequent that site. The traffic that you would get would be enormous, because you would have people like my channel and all sorts of channels looking at that for bits of news and information about which digital assets are and are not viable, or having a rough time and don't really, or maybe they're just an all-out fraud. Who knows? But anyway, that's just a great idea for someone to grab hold of. And I know there's a lot of smart people out there listening to this, so there's a good idea for your Monday. Savvy XRP at SavvyXRP_. This was a tweet from him or her. XRP is looking poised to rally by at least 150%, currently printing the same potential bullish divergences seen in September 2018 and November 2017, which were followed by 193% and 1800% moves higher. Now, I'll give you my disclaimer I always give you. I'm not a chart guy. This is a tweet that references an article that is about a guy who does do charts and is into that type of thing. I'm not telling you that this is what I believe, but I am telling you it was interesting enough for me to look at and to show. Okay, there's another reason I wanted to show it, but here's the chart. I'm not going to show you the article. This is the chart and the Twitter guy that they were referencing. And I looked at him. He's got 39.8 thousand followers, and so he must not be too stupid, because there's a lot of people that don't think so. On the BTC pair, same potential bullish divergences as September 18 and November 17. These two were good enough for 193% and 1800% movements. On USD pair, already broke the major downtrend some time ago. And he's got this chart to illustrate what he's talking about. The point I wanted to make here is this: not necessarily that this chart has a good chart here, not necessarily that he's right or wrong. What I do want to point out is the fact that XRP has not been moving in relation to Bitcoin and some of the others, and it's one of the worst performing in the top 10 or 15. To me, that alone is the most bullish signal that you could ever see for the greatest digital asset ever created. The one that has more good news attached to it, to its major use case through Ripple. The one that has more awesome things that are announced almost on a daily, weekly basis is Ripple and XRP. It is not something to ignore, the fact that it is the one that is the least, that has performed less than any. And that your 99% of investors are going to the ones that they're seeing the green on, and that is the wrong thing to do. I want to show you a C3 Nick tweet from today that illustrates the point. This is a quote. This is from Wayne Gretzky, one of the greatest hockey players of all time. Skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. This quote is from the hockey player Wayne Gretzky. It is my favorite quote since it fits this market so well. It fits absolutely perfectly. And I remember watching it was a documentary on, I think it was Steve Spurrier from when he was coaching the Florida Gators, which is for those of you out of the United States, that Florida Gators is a Division I football team, University of Florida, SEC team, big deal. Well, anyway, Spurrier was the head coach, and I remember watching a documentary, and I remember him on the field talking to one of his quarterbacks about how you throw to where they're going to be. You're not throwing to where they are, and this is such a good illustration of how markets work. Do not go and invest in where you see the green. You invest in the things that you've done the research on and are really good projects and have really good people behind them and have really good technology, and all the things make sense, but they're in the red. That's where you invest. That's why I keep buying XRP. To me, it's the greatest opportunity of 3 lifetimes. I say it all the time. I do not understand for the life of me during 2019 while it's still there. But here's my answer to that. I will take it all day long, and I will buy and I will buy and I will buy until the true value of XRP is shown to the world, and it will be shown. Okay, moving along. This is from XRP Big Time. I'm not going to show you the article because this is from the Financial Times, and you have to pay a subscription. And what it'll do is it'll show up at first, and then it disappears. Has Bitcoin joined the ranks of classic haven assets? Well, just the fact that they're writing the article pretty much tells you that that's what's happening, because this is mainstream financial media, the Financial Times. So it is happening right here before our eyes, folks. Barry Silbert and those guys, they're genius what they've done, the Drop Gold campaign. But regardless of how much, regardless of whether it captures all of gold's shine, if it captures 10%, our wallets are changing forever, folks, in terms of those of us in digital assets, because if Bitcoin goes up like that, you better believe the good altcoins are going to do the same. And at some point, XRP is going to make Bitcoin an altcoin. Write that one down if you need a piece of news for Monday. Hey, I noticed something while I was showing you this, a guy that you need to follow, Investment Perspectives. He's at Backup Brad Combs. And you can also, he's also got a YouTube channel. I've gotten to know Brad pretty well, and he's a stand-up guy, and he does live streams like every morning, and I can't remember if he does one in the afternoon or not, but go give him a follow on Twitter and go subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's worth listening to. And he's got a cool New Orleans sounding accent. And he's in a band, so he's cooler than I am, I know that. At Living with Passion sent me 2 or 3 things here. The first was kind of funny. You ought to go and watch this. This is a I'll let it run here a little bit. This is a funny video about what it's like to be a new trader in crypto, and it's showing. This is the guy that's teaching this guy how to trade, and he eventually lets him go, and he falls all over the place. It's just a funny video. You can see the video at OpenCoin369. It's pretty funny. And then she also sent me this. And this I want to make a really big major point with. Bangladesh, this is from Tehol Vedic XRP. Bangladesh, MoneyGram launches bank deposit service for NRBs. MoneyGram announced a partnership with Jumana Bank, creating a convenient and new money deposit option for non-resident Bangladeshis around the world. Here's the point I want to make with this, and we talked about this the other day with what it was. I'm trying to remember who had tweeted out. I think maybe it was Neo, what's his name? Anderson, I can't remember his full Twitter name, but it's the guy that has the picture of Neo from The Matrix on there. And I think he's the one that made the point about how what he thinks is going to happen. And this is what I think too. I think this MoneyGram partnership is going to be used in part as an end around for banks that have to deal with too many regulations, so that they can basically cut deals with MoneyGram and send money cheaply through MoneyGram and XRP as an add-on service for these banks. And I think they said it would use multi-hop to do so. But anyway, that's interesting because you're going to see more and more of these type of deals. Next, from Sergeant Obi-Wan, this is cool. I will probably participate in this because this will be fun. John Mcafee, who I love to cover on my channel, he's a character. I love characters. John Mcafee announces the Mcafee World Trade Competition for crypto traders. And you can go to Sergeant Obi-Wan's feed and find the link to the article, because I'm not going to go into that. But I'm definitely in on this one. Seems cool. Plus the possibility to meet Mcafee himself. Let the games begin. I'm going to do this trading competition, and I'm going to find out more about it, and I'll let you know once I do. Next, also from Sergeant Obi-Wan, launch of digital euro puts Germany ahead of the game. And this is the article that he's tweeting here. And this is, let me get down here to this part. Germany set to set the benchmark for EU. In its bid to stay ahead of global competition, the association disclosed in an announcement that Germany longs for earning the highly coveted position of the most digitally advanced country in the EU. Measures such as this will cause people to regard Germany as the touchstone of all blockchain applications. Thus, launching its stable, state-backed cryptocurrency will reduce the implications of market fluctuations on its public and prevent them from turning to rather turbulent Bitcoin markets. So, Germany, I told you the other day, that's one smart group of people. They know what they're doing. Okay. Next, and I'm not going to go into this article, but Jaquito Mcafee sent me this, at Jaquito Mcafee. Commentary: Trump's New World Order is built around U.S., China, Russia. And then I want to show you this. Trump is laying groundwork for a new world order built around the U.S., China, and Trump. U.S., China, and Russia. Trump has begun process with Russia and China at the G20. Okay, but this is the part I want to focus on. Trump is laying the groundwork for a new world order. Now, I told you, here's what we keep hearing. We keep hearing new world order. That's one thing we keep hearing. And then we keep hearing level playing field. When the history books are written on all of this, I believe those are the two phrases that they will say more than anything is creating a level playing field and bringing in the new world order. And Brad Garlinghouse and all these government officials and all sorts of people around Ripple and the government have used those two phrases over and over. Here is where Brad Garlinghouse used this phrase. This is from November 14th, 2018. Brad Garlinghouse: Ripple is taking over the SWIFT system. Down here says this is Brad Garlinghouse. He's speaking at at Singapore FinTech Festival. There have been many rumors, and I hesitate to comment on rumors. I think that we do on a daily basis is to take over SWIFT. We are already registered the arrival of more than 100 banks in our network. Some of the major banks which already use SWIFT have turned to the technology developed by Ripple. We want banks to succeed in this new world order and take advantage of these new technologies. If we could do this with SWIFT, it would be a very good thing. Okay, and next I want to show you this from Chinu Patel, at Chinu Patel 29. This tweet right here, and I'll end here. Deutsche Bank to discuss 15,000 to 20,000 job cuts. Russia doubles their gold holdings past 5 years. China's gold holdings up 75% since 2009. Italy wants their gold back. Company leaders stepping down. The SWIFT, World Bank, RBS, Suncorp, NAB, RIT, Rothschild himself, and more. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And tell your friends and family that the New World Order seems to be happening right before our eyes. And everybody seems to want a level playing field. Thanks for listening.